If you picture a modern theoretical physicist, you almost certainly picture one man: wild white hair, a thoughtful gaze, and an equation that transformed our understanding of the universe forever. We think of him as the ultimate icon of human intelligence, a lone genius whose mind operated on a plane far beyond ordinary mortals. But what if I told you the man who redefined space, time, and gravity was once considered a slow learner by his teachers, dropped out of high school, was rejected by top universities, and was forced to work as a lowly third class patient clerk while making his greatest discoveries? This is the story of Albert Einstein. He wasn't a human computer or a rigid academic. He was a stubborn rebel whose insatiable curiosity destroyed centuries of scientific dogma. To understand Einstein's revolution, we have to go back into 1879 in Ulm, Germany. As a young boy, Albert didn't speak until he was nearly 3 years old, leading his family to worry about that he was intellectually impaired. But his mind didn't work in words. It worked in vivid, visual images. When he was 5 years old, his father gave him a simple pocket compass while he was sick in bed. Young Albert watched in awe as the needle insisted on pointing north, no matter which way he turned the casing. He realized that there had to be a mysterious, invisible force hidden in the empty space around us that simply compasses us, and that sparked a lifelong obsession with the hidden mechanics of nature. Einstein hated the strict militaristic style of German schooling, where students were expected to memorize facts without asking questions. Teachers clashed with his rebellious attitude, with one famous declaring that he would never amount to anything. At age 15, he dropped out of school and moved to Switzerland. After failing his first university entrance exam, he brushed up on his math and physics, eventually earning a diploma. Yet he was so outspoken that none of his professors would write him a recommendation letter. Unable to find an academic job, he took a humble position at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern, reviewing other people's mechanical interventions. For most people, a patent office job would have been the end of a scientific career, but for Einstein, it was paradise. He worked efficiently, finished his duties quickly, and spent the rest of his hours secretly scribbling physics calculations on scraps of paper hidden inside his desk drawers. In 1905, while still a 26-year-old patient clerk, Einstein published his 4 revolutionary papers in a single scientific journal. That incredible year is known as the Annus Mirabilis, his miracle year. In those 4 years, he proved that atoms actually exist, explained how light can act both as waves and particles, and introduced his special theory of relativity. He overturned Isaac Newton's 200-year-old assumption that time flows at a constant rate everywhere in the universe. Einstein showed that time and space are woven together into a single fabric, and that time actually slows down the faster you move. Included in his work was the world's most famous equation ever: E equals mc squared. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared, proving that mass and energy are the two forms of the exact same thing. Yet Einstein was just getting started. For the next 10 years, he tackled a problem that had stumped scientists for centuries. What is gravity? In 1915, he revealed his masterwork, The General Theory of Relativity. He proposed that massive objects like planets and stars actually bend the fabric of space and time around them, like a heavy bowling ball sitting on a trampoline. What we feel as gravity isn't an invisible pull, but the object simply following the curved path created by warped space. In 1919, during a total solar eclipse, British astronomers measured the bending of starlight around the sun, proving Einstein was right. Overnight headlines across the globe proclaimed a revolution in science. Albert Einstein was transformed into a global celebrity, awarded the 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics, earning him one of the greatest honors a physicist can ever have. But as his international fame skyrocketed, the world around him fractured. In the 1930s, the rise of Hitler and the Nazi regime in Germany placed a target on Einstein's back due to his Jewish heritage and his public pacifism. Nazi propaganda denounced his theory as Jewish physics, and his books were publicly burned. Realizing he could never return home, Einstein fled to Europe in 1933 and settled in the United States, taking a position at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. In 1939, as World War II loomed, Einstein was urged by fellow scientists to write a fateful letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt. He warned the president that German scientists had discovered nuclear fission and might build an atomic bomb. That letter helped kickstart the Manhattan Project. Though Einstein was a staunch pacifist who never worked on the bomb itself, the realization that his famous equation had helped unlock such destructive power haunted him for the rest of his life. He spent his final years fiercely advocating for global peace, civil rights, and nuclear disarmament. At Princeton, the aging physicist became a beloved local legend, walking through town without socks, chatting with local students, and continuously scribbling equations on his blackboard. He spent his last 2 decades attempting to find a unified field theory, a single equation that could connect gravity with the forces of electromagnetism and quantum mechanics. Though that ultimate theory eluded him, he never stopped chasing it. Albert Einstein passed away in 1955 at the age of 76. On his bedside table lay his final unfinished notes, a testament to a mind that remained relentlessly curious until its very last breath. Einstein left behind a legacy that built our modern technological world and revolutionized the world of STEM, meaning science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Without his theories of relativity, our modern GPS systems wouldn't exist. And not only would they not exist, they wouldn't work even if they did exist. Without his discovery of the photoelectric effect, solar panels, digital camera sensors, and fiber optic networks wouldn't exist. And even if they did exist, they wouldn't work. Why? Because his theory and the framework that he laid is the thing that made it work. Yet his ultimate legacy goes far beyond just physics. Einstein showed us that imagination is more important than knowledge. And even when he died, scientists cut open his head to study his brain to see what made it so fascinating. And they found out that his brain was abnormally bigger than the average human brain. And his IQ was measured when he was alive around to 160, compared to his peers such as J. Robert Oppenheimer at 135 or another peer, Richard P. Feynman, at 120. Yet, he proved that true genius isn't about memorizing existing rules. It's about breaking boundaries. It's about having to challenge authority, but having the courage to question fundamental assumptions and view the cosmos with the boundless wonder of a child. Einstein showed us that it doesn't take a miraculous brain or an insane amount of talent or gene to make it work or to have the right parents. Einstein showed us that even if you have humble beginnings or even a humble middle, there's always the time before the end. And if you can make that time and use that time, you are no different from Albert Einstein. Though his theories revolutionized physics, I believe his main message would be to be curious and to keep wondering and to keep being humble and knowing that you don't know everything, but you can try finding everything out. And though he never succeeded in finding everything out, he learned that though he is known as one of the greatest physicists of all time, he knew himself that he was not the greatest physicist of all time. And even he said that hobbies helped him come up with theories of physics, as he would play the violin to help his creative process. He taught us that the most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious, and that an unquenchable passion for understanding is the greatest gift we possess. This gift travels with us and fights with us and lives inside us. We have caged it many times in our life to just humbly accept facts so that people don't get offended. Well, I'd say let them get offended, but let your curiosity hunger even more. Albert Einstein said that in a world that often demands conformity, he showed that he remained an enduring symbol of what happens when one human mind dares to look up at the night sky and simply ask, what if?